What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 340. That is a crazy number to say. It's been a long time, man, with these podcasts. Hope everybody is doing amazing. The Young Buck interview is doing great. Finally, we got a clip that did really good, at least for me, really good in views. It's about to reach 30,000 views. And, of course, it was the one where Buck's talking about a possible G-Unit reunion. So that's going well. I am this week planning on launching another interview. I don't know which one I'm going to choose out of the two that's already recorded, but whichever one I feel like, I guess, editing and seeing how it turns out on that end. So that's going to be launching sometime this week. I had planned on Monday, which is right now when you guys are listening to the podcast, but just too much stuff is happening. So hopefully this week is the plan. And the Buck interview, I think, based off the track that I'm on right now, I think there's probably gonna be like 20 parts to it because the full interview is about an hour and 20 minutes, so probably 25 parts. So it's already at part 7 that I just uploaded. So from there, I think we got about 13 to 15 more parts, and then that will be officially done. I'm already in talks with different people to interview, and that's what happens usually when you get an artist of a level like a Young Buck who's high level in terms of like views and just people reacting and responding. You'll get more people to react and respond, and people will notice and say things and want to do more interviews, and people want to join in on your platform and do interviews. So that's cool. I cannot wait for that. I definitely need to first, this area right here, I need to get that AC unit installed. It is blazing hot in here. You guys can't tell, but yeah, it's hot. So once I get that installed, then I'll be able to bring people here in this weather, because right now it's insane. It's 95 degrees to almost 100 degrees every day here in Georgia. It's crazy. So at least I'll be able, when I get the AC unit installed, to bring people here to do an interview, because right now I can't. If somebody were to come here, it'll be blazing hot for them, and they wouldn't want to do the interview. And I don't blame them. So that needs to be resolved, and then once that's resolved, then I'll be able to actually bring, because there's some people here in Georgia that I want to interview. That would be really cool. But yeah, that's what happens when you start getting these type of interviews. More and more start flooding in, more and more start coming in, and it's a beautiful thing. So hopefully, I got goals of who I want to get. I've written out a whole list from the day that I started the podcast. So hopefully I get those in the future, which I will. It's just a matter of time. The Young Buck thing started in 2021, finally happened in 2025. I hope all of them don't take that super long, but it is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So I appreciate you all, of course, for supporting all that. Patreon, you can watch the full Buck interview for the $10 Rich Gang tier. Get uncut documentaries, join the Discord, you get the full interviews. The second I drop part 1, the full interview will be up as well. So if you see a part 1 on a new interview on the main YouTube channel, then of course it will also be uploaded to Patreon, as well as YouTube memberships, which is $2 cheaper, but you don't get the uncut documentary. So I think for more bang for your buck, join the Patreon Rich Gang tier. Now, let's get into the news. And I want to start with this because this was the thing that most people talked about, rightfully so, because this is the biggest artist, essentially one of the biggest artists in the world, and that's Drake. Drake is doing this interesting rollout with his ICEMAN album, and he dropped episode 2, and it's attached always to a new song, which is the song called Which One with Central C. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, the ICEMAN episodes are not interesting at all. Like, the first one was interesting because it's like something new and you don't know what's going on. Like, what is this ICEMAN? And it's an album title, but we don't know what's going to happen in this video. Is it just a one thing? Is it going to be more? Now that there's more, now that there's a second one, it's really just a waste of time. You're sitting there staring at, something, a camera pointing at something, and then there's like a fucking guy, a Pinocchio walking around that people have speculated looks like Kendrick Lamar's clothing. I forget what video it's in, but it's with the song with Future. It's off the Black Panther soundtrack, where Kendrick's like in a tree wearing a certain outfit, and that in that ICEMAN video, it's the same type of look where the person's like in a bush or whatever and wearing the same type of clothing almost. So people are speculating it's a shot towards Kendrick, which nowadays, man, it's unfortunate. Anytime Kendrick or Drake do anything, there's going to be the stands that come in and speculate that there's subliminals and stuff like that. There's speculation on Pinocchio following Drake. Is Drake running from the lies, or is Drake, outsmarting the lies? Who knows? There's a lot of speculation on those episodes. People are going to break down and think that every little part means something crazy. I was interested in the rollout in the beginning, but with these, these episodes, they're not really that interesting. I'm going to be honest with you. The second episode just drags out. I really don't care, man. Let's just get to the music, or at least makes these episodes interesting. Like, don't have me staring at a fucking brick of ice for 10 minutes or a door for 15 minutes. Like, it drags out too long. I don't find it that interesting, and I think most people don't. They're just kind of, the stands are gonna watch no matter what. It is what it is with them. But this rollout, and what's interesting about this rollout too is there's now speculation that Drake is potentially going to sign a deal with YouTube Music because he's having his issues with UMG, Universal. He's having the lawsuits, and I think that contract's set to expire. Maybe he just has this ICEMAN album that he has to drop, and then after that, it's done. And people are saying if he signs a deal directly to YouTube Music, that's going to be very, very different and interesting. It's going to be something that I don't think an artist has signed directly to YouTube Music. And it'll probably be a huge deal. And on top of that, I don't know if that'll qualify Drake as independent because you are signing, YouTube is a distributor. Right now, you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, this video is distributed to YouTube. So it is a distributor, but it's not a record label. Even though Lear Cohen, is running, I think he's still running YouTube Music. I don't know who's running it. I think it's Lear Cohen. Let me make sure. Lear Cohen is the global head of music at YouTube. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lear Cohen, signs Drake and somehow makes a deal where it is something that we've never heard of or never seen. But that is the speculation going on. YouTube, on YouTube Music, on their Twitter profile or whatever, X profile, whatever you want to call it, Drake's ahead there. Drake is dropping those episodes exclusively on YouTube, live streaming it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a deal in the works with Drake signing with YouTube directly. That'll be a very interesting deal. I would want to know why. I know I keep saying interesting so much. Sorry, I keep repeating the word. But I don't know. I would want to know how this deal is structured and why Drake would choose to sign with anything at this point in his career. But let's get into the actual music, the song. Which one? It is horrible. It's a bad song. And it's unfortunate because Drake, and I said this in my Drake versus Kendrick Lamar video, I said, Drake's going to have a tougher road of remaining irrelevant because Drake's been so consistent for so long that not eventually, but there's more fatigue set in with Drake. More people are getting tired of hearing him and not wanting to really listen to his music like that. And it's rarely really, and it shows in the sales. Like, you can just look at the sales. As each album releases, less and less sales happen. The first week at least. I mean, I don't know, overall, looking at sales, I think Drake's peak was Views, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, like that area. And then from there, sales, and Scorpion as well. So from 2011 to 2018 is like his kind of peak when it comes to sales. After that, albums have been slowly declining in sales. And I don't know if that's a real indicator, though, is because sales, Kendrick's declining in sales. Look at GNX versus, Damn. There's a huge difference in sales. But Damn was promoted a lot better. Obviously, there's singles coming out and stuff. GNX was just a surprise release. So you could argue, there's different. But, sales might not be the ultimate indicator, but I think what the ultimate indicator is songs falling off so quickly. And I've had this critique of Drake for a long time. This isn't something I've been saying just now. If you guys can watch old episodes, I've been saying Drake's songs, yeah, he gets a number one, but does it stay at number one? Is it still a relevant song after a month, 2 months, 3 months? A lot of Drake's songs, they just pop at number one, and then they slowly start to fall off, or they fall off really quickly. I mean, look at What Did I Miss? I think that's a good first song. Is it a great first song? Is it the song that he should have came back with as his next album? The first, no. I think Drake could have came way harder. No homo, no Diddy. But he could have come with something a lot more, I think, aggressive, man. Come out with something that says, hey, look, you guys are trying to knock me off here. Drop something. I don't want to hear melodic records. Just rap. Just do that dope rapping and make it something that's catchy too, though. Do a melodic hook, but do it in a way where it's, like, I don't know, man. What's a good example? Because Drake has these examples where, you got 5 a.m. in Toronto. There isn't a hook on there, That's but the bars are just really good, and you can tell Drake has a chip on his shoulder there. I can't think of a good example, but you know what I'm saying? Like, have something that's aggressive and can catch people's attention. Like, What Did I Miss is a good record, but then it goes, let's go. Like it goes soft later on. It's just like, it starts out really good, you know, and it has that melodic, but then it just fades off to something weaker. And that's what I don't like. And then you got Which One, and Which One is just not a good song. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Central C. To be honest with you, 90 to 95% of UK rappers, I'm not a fan of. I just can't get into their voice. And that's just my kind of take on it. It's nothing against them as artists. I mean, there's a lot of American artists that I can't get into their voice. Big Sean is one of them. I just can't get into his music. There's a few artists like that where I'm not interested in the music. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, everybody has their preferences. But this Drake thing is just, it's not looking good is what I'm saying. I don't think the album is panning out to be this like, oh shit, I'm still here. This is my comeback. Like, not even comeback because he never really fell off, but this is I'm still here. I'm, you know, it's just not that to me. I don't see it as that. And Drake needs to, like, why not come with like what Eminem did with Kamikaze? Like, just go straight for everybody's neck and just, hey man, you guys are, you know, like, talk your shit. Say, hey, I'm the top guy. You guys are trying to knock me off this throne. I'm never going to leave. Fuck you. And that's it. You know, instead it's like, I don't know, man. It's just this, let's go. Yeah. Like, it's just, come on, man. We need a little bit. So I say all that to say these ICEMAN episodes are dragging the fuck out for no reason. Like, I don't want to stare at a camera staring at some random thing for 10 minutes. That's the bad part, too. The first episode was nice. It was cool. It was something interesting, different. I don't know what to expect. What is this? But the second episode drags out. I could care less. The song is bad, too, with Central C. There's really no creativity in that Iceman episode 2 where he's just Central C and Drake are standing up in these bleachers and looking at some girl do some like little dance. It's like, it's just, it's like, come on, man. There's better ways to approach this. But yeah, that's my take on it. I just wanted to talk about it because I know, you know, Drake is the biggest thing right now, and his return is really interesting to a lot of people. And this is just for people also that think I'm a Drake stan, that somehow people think that I'm on either side. I'm not. Like, this is actually the one beef where I'm not taking a single side. Like, I've been in the middle with this so much, it's really ridiculous. I enjoy both artists. I really do. And I've critiqued both artists. I have history of critiquing Drake. I have history of critiquing Kendrick. But, you know, people will see my take on the Drake versus Kendrick and say I'm dick riding Drake at the end because I say he could potentially win the war if he, like I said, does this UMG lawsuit right, you know, has a great comeback consistently in music. Yeah, I mean, if nothing fell off with him musically, he's still dropping hits and he's still doing his thing, then nobody destroyed anybody. And I don't think in today's time in battles you can really destroy anybody. That's my take. Once you get to a certain point of success with music, you have a cult-like following where you just can't get destroyed with in today's time with social media. Ja Rule is really the only person that you can really point to and say that, like, this artist got destroyed musically, where he still gets clowned to this day. Like, he dropped a song, I don't even know, like a month or 2 months ago, and everybody was reacting to it, saying, this is not it, this is trash, like, get out the way. Like, people are still clowning him to this day. Now, with Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly, hey, he might not be as successful in rap music. Yeah, you could say Eminem had a part in him not. I mean, Machine Gun Kelly in general wasn't really that successful in rap music. He always had that rock star type of vibe to me. I mean, literally the first single that was big to him in hip hop was Wild Boy, and that has a big rock flair to it. So people are going to say, oh, Eminem destroyed Machine Gun Kelly's career. I don't really see it because he's going to rocks, having huge major success there. Yeah, maybe in rap, but rap, he was never really successful to begin with like that. So I'm talking somebody that was like number one with a bullet, which was Ja Rule. All these records, Always on Time and I'm Real and all these things just dominating the charts, to all of a sudden nobody giving a sling of fuck about you, and every time you do something, everybody makes fun of you for it. So that's the difference. I don't think in today's time you can really do that to an artist that's established a fan base and established somewhat of a career. Just doesn't work in today's time. That's my opinion, but that's a whole different subject, different thing. Let's get into the news more now. After finishing that Iceman stuff, Sean Kingston. So let's get a little bit of updates of what prosecutors are seeking when it comes to him. Earlier this year, Sean Kingston was found guilty of 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud. Earlier this year, Sean Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, were found guilty of multiple fraud charges. Authorities allege that they took part in multi-million-dollar fraud scheme and victimized over 20 people. This week, Turner was officially sentenced to 5 years in federal prison and 3 years of supervised release. In addition to her sentence, she's been ordered to pay restitution to the victims. The amount has not yet been determined. It was a hard-fought sentence, so we have mixed feelings on it. Her attorney, Humberto Dominguez, said after the sentencing, "We won on some points and obviously lost on some points, all of which will be handled on appeal, so we have mixed feelings on it. Overall, the judge tried to do what was right and what was fair." Turner previously asked judge to give her a light sentence, arguing that 30 months, we talked about this, she wanted to get, she's older, she doesn't want to be in prison that long, and she might end up getting, exported to back to her place where she's from. As for Kingston, he's currently on house arrest after posting bond, and his sentencing hearing is scheduled to take place August 28th, according to All Hip Hop. He can now face up to 6.5 years in prison for his role in the alleged fraud scheme. Reportedly, prosecutors have asked the court to consider a broader scope of financial damage when deciding on his sentence, which is expected to be between 63 to 78 months. Allegedly, the court's initial report failed to account for all victims and the full monetary loss, which could mean Kingston will face a longer prison sentence and increased restitution amounts. Prosecutors reportedly want him to repay $1.17 million, so $1,170,000. That is a good chunk of change. I don't even know if he even has that, but yeah, so we'll wait until, August 28th to see what his sentencing is. I don't know, man. I don't know with these situations, man. I don't know. I could see him getting 6. I could see him getting 3. I could see him getting 5. Who knows? We'll see what happens moving forward. Updates on Kanye West's ex-assistant lawsuit. And she's speaking out and saying that Kanye West is doing more crazy stuff to her. So let's go over the article. A representative for Kanye West has already denied Lauren I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Pisciata's allegations as absurd and outlandish. Kanye West's former assistant, Lauren, who is currently suing him with allegations of sexual assault and other misconduct, now claims he's orchestrating a swatting campaign against her in retaliation. Swatting refers to making fake police reports against someone in an effort to get armed authorities to show up to their location. Speaking to the BBC, Lauren's attorney, Afrik Fudali, revealed that she's just sort of sitting around and hiding as the lawsuit plays out in public. As caught by All Hip Hop, he added she is suffering and has been suffering since she began working for Mr. West. It's really sad. She's gone through a lot. Lauren originally filed her lawsuit against West back in June of 2024, and according to a new amendment to her case, she was the victim of a swatting. Just days later, she is alleging that West is responsible. In the latest filing, she claims she was bombarded with unwanted, harassing, and alarming visits from the police. In one instance, police allegedly told her that they heard a report that she had killed her own mother. Lauren also claims that around this time, she began receiving ominous phone calls warning her to drop the lawsuit. That sounds crazy. Kanye West and his legal team have denied Lauren's allegations on several occasions, responding to her amendments. Earlier this month, a representative for Kanye told Complex that the claims are absurd and outlandish. Lauren amended complaint is the 4th version she has advanced. They said each new revision contradicts the others. Each is more absurd and outlandish than all the previous claims combined. Does Lauren actually believe her confabulations? We cannot know, but this breathless new installment of fantasy fiction discredits all past, present, and future testimony. Lauren's other attorney, Lisa Bloom, countered that statement by telling the Daily Mail that West's own admissions about the case on social media will destroy him in court. Why did I never fuck Lauren? She smelled funny, and half of the NBA can attest to that. Kanye West's Twitter was something else. He'd be going on rants like crazy. You know, I'm not even going to talk about this lawsuit. I don't know what happened, whatever. They're going back and forth. Who knows? Did Kanye do it? Potentially. Did Kanye not do it? Potentially. We don't know. There's no proof right now of anything. So that type of stuff, it is what it is. Let it play out in court with evidence and all that, right? My thing is Kanye has ruined his legacy. It's gotten so downhill with just the crazy stuff he's done that it's just ruined everything that he's, I don't know, man. This last like 10 years of his career have been like, and I'm saying 10 years, literally 10 years. Like after Yeezus, The Life of Pablo came out, I believe, in 2015 or 16, 2015. And that was a good album. But then after that, it was just like the Bipolar one is Then he had the Donda run, which was pretty good. It had some great records on there. And I thought Donda would have been like a more, the way he released it too. Like what kind of affected the music as well as the way they were put out. Like you couldn't even listen to Donda. It was like on that little thing that you circle thing where you can mess with the sound, and it was only exclusively on there or something. Then Donda 2 was only exclusive on there. Then Donda was removed from streaming platforms and this and that. And it just it's ruined his legacy just on so many different levels where like the music's just been, some tracks have been great. Don't get me wrong. Kanye's Kanye. I mean, there's nothing that you can, the guy's a genius musically. There's nothing that you can't take away from that. But the music just it's been so, like Bully, I didn't get a chance to even listen to it. Like I heard a song or two and it got removed off the YouTube streaming platform. And I don't even know if it's available on streaming right now. I haven't even checked because it's so, you don't know. You're going back and forth with this shit. Let me actually check right now and then Kanye changes his name, so you don't know where the fuck to find his music. Is it Kanye West? Is it Ye? What is it, man? So you got Donda Deluxe. It's on streaming platform. Vultures 1, Vultures 2, and then Donda 2 is finally on streaming platforms. So it was Donda 2 that was on that toy, I think, that little whatever speaker thing. So yeah, Bully, the EP's here with 3 songs. I don't remember if it was 3 songs or more. If last I checked, it was more. I don't know, man. Just it's been so scattered and just it's been basically what's Kanye's mind has been put out on music this past like 8 to 10 years, and it's kind of ruined his aura, his legacy. It's starting to like just, I don't know. Kanye isn't the Kanye that he once was. Does he have hints of that? Yeah, but honestly, I don't expect anything more from him. It's been just, I don't know, man. It's been crazy. But like I was saying, sorry, I got cut off. Somebody called me in the middle of the podcast. But like I was saying, it's like Lil Wayne with the Carter 6. He doesn't have to prove to us anymore anything. He's done that. He's had his peak. He's had his run. Now he's just making music however he wants to make music. And yeah, it's not good. But hey, that's what he feels he wants to do at this moment. Nothing you could do about that, right? I don't really care about, how do I say, the music after the prime of the artist. Like it's never going to be as good as like in that moment when they're in that zone. It just is what it is. And it also ties to nostalgia. Where were you in life at that moment? A lot of things. So you're never really going to get that prime of an artist, but you can get some good music. Not great, not classics, but you can get some good music from artists. And Kanye is just he's delivered good music, but all the other shit surrounding him is like just destroying, like even you trying to listen to the music sometimes. You can't because it gets removed. Kanye decides to, I don't like this album. I need to mix and master this again. And I need to take this off and add this and no, this is that. Like it's just so much shit is going around the music that it's like, it's really taken away from the music. I wish he would just, if he has something passionate to speak about, I like that Kanye speaks something about, whatever he's passionate about, he'll speak about it. That's fair. Go talk about it, disappear, go work on the music and just drop the music and then disappear again. Go talk about something else. Something like that where it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm going on this random rant of just stuff about Kanye that I'm just disappointed. I don't know how to word this properly, but I'm just disappointed. Kanye could have, kept the legacy better in terms of these last 8 years. I want to say 10. Let's just say 8 years, 7, 8 years. So yeah, it is what it is, but we'll keep our eyes posted on this lawsuit. Continuing on, this was just a typical police story. It's just bullshit. So Glorilla got arrested on felony drug charges in Georgia. TMZ reported it. She was arrested on 2 drug charges. Citing jail records, the outlet says she was booked in Forsyth County for possession of scheduled controlled substance and possession of marijuana over 1 ounce on Tuesday. Both charges constitute felonies under the state law. Further details on the arrest remain unclear, although Glorilla ultimately posted a $22,000 bond to get out of jail on the same day. Then she spoke on the incident. So Glorilla was not home when suspects invaded her home and robbed her house, but police charged her for some weed in her closet. Look how wild this is. Look, so she said police discovered marijuana in Glow's closet while responding to a home invasion that took place at her house while she wasn't there. Specifically, the Memphis FEMC took to Twitter to address the issue. She scolded law enforcement for presenting drug possession charges against her rather than focusing on the robbers who are still at large at the press time. Crazy. She said, my home got invaded Saturday while I was in Indianapolis performing for the WNBA All-Star game. And instead of focusing on finding the suspects, they focus on some cannabis. 1, so I wasn't busted. They focused on some cannabis. Then she says, 1, so no, I wasn't busted. 2, my house got robbed. 3, I wasn't home. Long story short, my house gets home invaded, and I'm the only one that gets arrested. So that's T. That's crazy. Like, think about this. Your house gets robbed. You're not even home. The police decide to just ransack your house and go check it out all over. They find something they think is illegal and they don't like, which technically it is illegal, but it's in the privacy of your home, and then they arrest you. Like, how is that? There has to be some type of law protecting you against that. That's so, I guess because it was a home invasion, they can technically go in your house. Police can, check the area to see what was stolen. But it's just so crazy. It's like I'm the victim, but I'm getting arrested because of something else. I just found it very, very stupid. Like, it's like, what's the point of calling police? But I get it. If you don't have illegal stuff in your house, then this would never happen. So it is kind of on her, but still, it's like I call you after my house gets robbed, and instead of you doing something about that and focusing on that, you're focusing on some drug possession I have. It's like, yeah. Crazy story, man. I just wanted to talk about it because I was just dumbfounded at how police act sometimes. Let's talk Freddie Gibbs because he decided on this Alfredo 2 project that just got released, which I haven't checked out, to just diss everybody, essentially. He dissed everybody he's had issues with on this album. So let's start with the first people, which is Jim Jones and Benny the Butcher. We know with Benny the Butcher, they got into a fight, I believe, with Jim Jones as well at a certain point, but let's go over what Freddie Gibbs said in the music. Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist dropped their collaborative album, Alfredo 2. This is the duo's second collaborative LP and follows Alfredo, which they released in 2020. So far, it looks like the fans have been enjoying the 14-track project. They've been also quick to call out some apparent jabs that were thrown in Empendanas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He says this, smacked him in Miami, his boys jumped me. He played it safe. Bitches in Buffalo get the same thing. They was throwing plates, limped away on his good foot, but ain't bust a grape. These guys fake, sealed documents, still popping it. Fuck the certified crack babies, come get your mama hit. Yeah, shit ain't selling, they gotta resort to drama shit. Fuck these loving hip-hop guys, I'm at the Oscars, bitch. Now, when I say guys, it's clearly the N-word. So these are shots, to me, what makes sense is obviously Freddie Gibbs and Jim Jones. They apparently both fought. He's fought Jim Jones and Freddie Gibbs. Interesting enough, Benny the Butcher fought Freddie Gibbs, Sorry. Freddie Gibbs has fought Benny the Butcher and Jim Jones on different separate occasions, obviously. And what's interesting is Benny the Butcher responded to that on his IG stories with that classic meme of, what's his name, the actor? Martin, not the comedian actor, Martin Lawrence, with his face all swollen up. To basically say, hey, you got the shit beat out of you. So you're over here dissing me in songs. But, shout out to Freddie Gibbs, man. He's restoring that feeling. So he disses them on there. Those are the bars he spit. Then he adds on more people to diss. He disses Currency and DJ Akademiks. So let's get into this. Currency, these lyrics caught on the track called Gas Station Sushi. He disses Currency. He raps this. Could have ran that Fetty by myself, bitch. I'm the best with AI or Al. I think he's probably talking about Alchemist. So I'm the best with Al. Yeah, bitch. Keep it G. We like on part 3, guy. Oh, go start a Chevy up. Don't start with me. And of course, Currency loves him shit. He's the lowriders and stuff like that. So, and he's referring to Fetty, which was apparently a project they were supposed to work on, but let's get into that. For those who don't know, Fetty is another word for fentanyl. Freddie is saying that he could move the hard drug efficiently by himself, but it's also a reference to the Fetty album. Remember back in 2018, he teamed up with Currency and the Alchemist for it. It was a beloved project, and fans were really hoping for a second installment would get made. However, they would be sadly disappointed. In 2023, Gibbs went on his burner account on Instagram to share why it wasn't happening. He said, guys shitted on our first project, he wrote, didn't shoot one video or do one show. I ain't get mad. I just subtracted him from the equation, and me and Al made another classic and went to the Grammys. End of story. So that makes, sense. Gibbs then continued, and on his lavish habits, he disses Akademiks. He says this, I'm still going to squeeze Akademiks' titties, that fat bastard. He raps in one of the first lines. And, of course, Akademiks, he'll go on live stream and he'll clown artists for not being relevant or as rich as him and blah, 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 blah. And their back and forth goes back for a while. So I guess he just decided I'm going to troll him and about him being fat, those titties, you fat bastard. So that's hilarious. So that's Jim Jones, Benny the Butcher, Currency, and DJ Akademiks. And that's not it. He decides to diss Gunna as well. So a total of 5 people on this project he decides to clown. Let's talk about what track it is on Lavish Habits. The same track he's dissing Akademiks. He says this, First Class Virgin Atlantic, Stewardess Titties Plastic. I'm still going to swing Akademiks' titties, that fat bastard. Gunna dissed me and took a plea. He a rat. Bastard. So now he's calling him a rat. So, yeah, man. Snitching allegations with Gunna. What's interesting with the snitching allegations with Gunna, it really hasn't affected his career. It's been really interesting to see it. And I don't think, here's the thing, I don't think snitching should affect a rapper's career if they're not gangsta, if they don't portray that gangsta side. And Gunna, to me, never really portrayed a gangsta. To me, 6ix9ine, I can kind of see, why people got mad at that, because he was, hey, Treyway, blood, all this, and I'll shoot you, and this and that, I'll do this. So to go from that to, hey, I'm snitching, I'm testifying, I can understand why people will get mad at that. But Gunna, listen, man, like people that get mad at somebody snitching in music, especially when they're not a gangsta, like what, he's not snitching on you. Who cares if the music's good? It's like some people think they're really gangsta. You're just a listener to music, bro. You're not gangsta. You work a regular job. You're not out here slanging work and, moving with the mob. No, bro. You're a regular individual and you're mad at somebody snitched. Like, what does that have anything to do with you? Just enjoy the music, bro. Stop acting gangsta and hard. It's not that big of a deal. So with the Gunna situation, I don't really care. Snitch, not snitch, doesn't matter to me. Gunna, I never viewed as a gangster rapper in my eyes. 6ix9ine, I can understand where that's coming from. 6ix9ine, even though had valid points of why he did it, they were robbing from him, they were fucking his girl, blah, blah, blah. So I can understand that aspect of it, but still, you're pushing this gangsta shit. It doesn't really fly, after you get out, you start acting tough and gangsta again. It doesn't really fly the same because when you were in court, you were testifying and pointing at everybody. So that's the difference between the two, but I never understood why people got mad at Gunna snitching. Anyways, Currency responded to that diss. So he posted this long caption saying, stop fucking playing, little dude, for real, for real. Nobody else gonna say nothing because it ain't really about shit, but I'm gonna jump out there and say something. Now everybody is playing, and certain people around certain people will jump out there and do something you behind you, not watching your mouth. Just do your rappity rap shit and stop trying to beat a dead horse, talking about shit from years and years ago to stir the pot to sell a project. Don't stir the pot over this way. They're gonna be quiet like the real G's they is, but I'm a hothead. I'll do something to you, rabbit. Currency commented under that and said, we ain't tripping, ha ha ha, send me some beats though. So Currency's clearly not bothered by the diss from Freddie Gibbs, but interesting, man. Freddie Gibbs decided to go the route of, most of the people he's already been beefing with, actually all the people he's already been having issues with. Maybe you could argue Gunna, but yeah, interesting, man. I got to check out the project. I might end up doing a review on it, maybe this next episode, potentially. But I need to be more tapped into what projects are coming out because I've been just so busy that a lot of the new music I haven't really been checking out like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward if more people respond to it. This is just sad. So Turk and his wife claim Cash Money booted him from the tour after he refused a payment reduction. Let's go over the article. Turk, BG, Lil Wayne, and Juvenile, the Hot Boys, have fortunately experienced various recent reunions, and so has the larger Cash Money family with Birdman, Manny Fresh, and more. But it seems like there's some trouble brewing, as Turk was allegedly booted from a reunion tour's upcoming dates. As caught by Traps and Trunks on Twitter, he and his wife, manager Erica Virgil, took to YouTube with a video explaining the situation. The same day after I refused to take less money than what the agency and promoters of the Cash Money 30th anniversary tour owed me, instead of saying they didn't have enough money to pay me, I received a last-minute termination notice saying I was a security risk, the rapper claimed in a YouTube video's caption. Apparently, Turk's beef with BG might have something to do with this, but that's just unconfirmed speculation. As such, take this information with a grain of salt, as the Cash Money camp hasn't responded to this allegation at press time. We'll see if more information illuminates to this internal conflict. Yeah, the video is just kind of doubling down on what I said. It's not worth watching because I just watched it right now and it's nothing really too crazy. But yeah, fucked up, man. Hopefully they figure this thing out. The Cash Money reunion tour is it's been mixed with like dates here and there and not really doing it. I think they should have packaged it a lot better and promoted it a lot better, because I had no idea about it until like probably a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. And if you do a Cash Money, like, here's the thing, man. Cash Money's legacy just runs so long that why not just do like everybody that's ever had anything to do with Cash Money? Like, I would do, 50 Cent was opening for Cash Money and Birdman and them back in 1999. Like, have 50 come into New York, like have the whole America, and then in certain parts, like have 50 perform at the New York one because he opened up for them early on, and have Drake perform, if they go to Canada, because he's part of Cash Money, Nicki Minaj, Tyga, whoever's been signed to the label and has had some type of impact, do all that, man. I would have, they would make insane bags of money. I don't think Drake, Drake obviously makes insane money regardless touring, and Nicki's made some crazy money as well touring. But, if you're going to do a Cash Money tour, do it properly, man. Have everybody there, promote it properly, and everybody will walk away with bags and bags of money. Like, this is the thing. This is the easiest money grab. Like, these tours are just easy money grabs. Like, for artists that haven't had money for a long time. Like, even for artists that don't have a crew of people, right? Like, right now, if they just decided, hey, let's do Houston, Legends Tour. Chameleonaire, Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, ever, right? All just get together and do that tour. Like, I would go see that. Why not, man? Everybody gets a bag from it. Everybody will get, whatever amount of money they get from it. Fun for fans. Why not do it? And with my Young Buck video that I did at the interview, he's mentioning a reunion, but he's not, we don't have to look at our G-Unit reunion as like a reunion with music. Why not just go on tour together? Even if 50's not involved in that tour, I would still go. I would love to see Banks, Buck, Game, Yayo make a huge bag. Call it the Unit Tour, since 50 owns technically G-Unit. I don't know if he would allow them to kind of call it the G-Unit Tour. 50 would have to have some type of approval of that. I don't know how that would work, but, even if 50 doesn't want to be a part of it, or just say, hey, I'll let you guys use the G-Unit name. I'll get a little cut. And that's it. He doesn't have to be a part of the tour. He doesn't have to perform. It would be better, obviously, but, why not? Like, it's easy money grabs, like easy. Like Yayo would walk away with, let's just say they do a tour, right? Banks, Buck, 50, Game. Not 50, sorry. Banks, Buck, Game, Yayo. Yayo would walk away probably with the least amount of money because he's the least, ticket grabber, at least, I think. It goes Yayo, Buck, Banks, and Game. Game would be the biggest because he is the bigger artist out of all of them. They would, after the whole tour, let's say they do all of America. Let's just say they do, 45 states in America. Let's say they do overseas as well. Let's just say they do 40 dates there. Yayo easily walking away with probably $5 million. Buck walking away with $7 million. Banks walking away with probably another $7 million. Game walking away with probably $10 million. Easy money, man. And they could, any issues that Game's having with that lady that's trying to steal from, not steal, but she won the lawsuit, pay that off. Any issues anybody's having financially, you guys could literally take care of it in a snap of a finger. But egos play a role, and whatever. People just don't want to, they don't want to do shit like this, which is surprising to me. But I get it. They're rich. At least I assume they're rich. So that's why they're not doing it. Because honestly, if I wasn't rich and I had a legacy like that, where I could easily go nostalgia and just decide, hey, let me perform my old shit and people will come see me, why not do it? And combine talents, like that Houston tour would be amazing. Like all those Houston legends from that era, I would go see it in a heartbeat. Paul Wall, Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Chameleonaire, whoever else you want to add on to there. I can't think off the top of my head, but that would be amazing. I would see that in a heartbeat. So same with this Cash Money thing. Promote it properly. Get the right people involved. Be a huge success. Continuing on, speaking of Cash Money, speaking of disses, which I spoke about earlier, Pusha T is still applying pressure to Birdman and Drake. And it's on the song called Damage Control with Wale. So shout out to Wale. He's been making a great comeback musically. I've been checking out the records, so shout out to him. NBA star Anthony Edwards is curating the second Culture Jam Complication album to be released under the brand. The first one, which was released in 2021, was helmed by future Hall of Famer Kawhi Leonard. Edwards has brought in some of his favorite rappers, including his brother, who goes by the rap name Be Different. He also included Pusha T and Wale, both of whom appear on the track Damage Control. The Don Cannon produced track hits pretty hard, but of course Pusha T's verse raised eyebrows. He had some bars for Birdman on this new track, but he may have also referenced Drake with a couple of lines. Let's go over these bars. The realest Birdman, I just cock-a-doodle-doo. Doorstep, doorstep, I get it right through. Money talk, the wrist is light blue. Sugar Hill sweet shit is feeling type 2. Bruised egos, man, you guys might sue. New Jack Nino's telling on the crew. There you go. So you clearly mentioned Birdman by name the second the verse started, and then talked about suing, which Drake, suing with UMG. So yeah, definitely shots, subliminals, at Birdman and Drake. Will they respond? Probably not. Birdman, I doubt he will respond because Birdman's just not in that mind frame of trying to beef. And to be honest with you, this whole thing started because of the situation of Birdman not paying, allegedly, this is the rumor of where it started, Birdman didn't pay the Neptunes, Pharrell, basically, Pharrell and the other guy's name, man, horrible, forgetting, I remember his name, the Neptunes, not paying them for that, what happened to that boy beat, which is crazy because that beat is still hard to this day. So because of that, then the beef started with Pusha T, Clips getting mad at, Lil Wayne and Birdman and Cash Money. That's where the alleged thing started. But then you point to the whole swagger jacking, the whole vibe interview where Lil Wayne goes off and says, I'm not swagger jacking anybody. I do my own thing. Fuck those guys. I don't know them, blah, blah, blah. He basically went off, and then that kind of set off a whole ring of things. And honestly, Exodus, that's how it's called, Exodus 23-1. That song is one of my favorite diss tracks of all time. I am going to do a top, probably a top 20 diss tracks of all time list. I have to do that. Maybe bigger list. Maybe a top 50. We'll see. I don't even know if there's 50 diss tracks that are really that worthy of being on a list. But I'll probably do a top 20 diss list. I have to do that at a certain point. Yeah, I want to really, I don't know. I think there's a lot of dope diss tracks that people just kind of, like the Push T, Exodus. That's a top 10 diss track. There's no way, ifs, ands, or buts about that. That song is just perfectly executed. If you've never heard that diss track from Pusha T, please go check it out. It is, and the dream over the song is just adds so much greatness to it. I don't know how to explain it, man. And the video is so dope. He cooked them. But this, Pusha T's lighting up the fire again. Maybe Drake will respond to ICEMAN. He says he has a lot to get off his chest, so we'll see what Drake says on ICEMAN. But Birdman responding, I don't even know how old Birdman is. I think he's 50 something. I don't think he hasn't made music in a minute too. So how old is Birdman, man? Let's see here. Born in 1969. So he is 56 years old. He just turned 56 in February of this year. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be responding. At that age, he's not really worried about, beef anymore. But we'll keep our eyes open, man. Dope bars, though, by the way. So shout out to Pusha T, man. Making hip-hop still interesting. Continuing on, Fat Joe claims he's lost over $10 million due to ex-Hype Man's lawsuit. So when this lawsuit happened, the podcast wasn't running. Basically, his former Hype Man, Terrence T.A. Dixon, accused the rapper of sex trafficking minors, wage theft, violent retaliation, and more. There's even reports that he's alleging that Fat Joe wanted to kill 50 Cent at one point, and there are all these rumors of 50 setting up to try to get people hit and all this stuff. Just crazy accusations. And Fat Joe, going over the article, he's vehemently denied the disturbing allegations against him in a lawsuit from his former hype man and attorney Tyrone Blackburn. The plaintiff accused the rapper of sex trafficking, withholding wages, statutory rape, ordering violence against Dixon, ghostwriting with lack of payment, and more. What's interesting about these lawsuits is you were the hype man of Fat Joe. You saw him potentially, allegedly, based on what he's saying, have sex with minors, and now you decide to say something after all these years? Like, that's what gets me pissed off. It's like, how can you, if I was in a group of somebody, right, and I saw the person doing something with a minor, there would be two ways I would deal with it. The first, and I would try this way, if possible, and it would suck because I would have to be around this person a lot more, but it would be for the greater good, is I would try to get video footage of him doing something like that to a minor so I can have proof. That way when I go and submit it to the police, I have solid evidence and proof, and hopefully that does something to that person and gets them locked up for the rest of their life because they're disgusting human beings. That's what I would try to do if anybody did anything like that around me. I don't care if they were paying me millions of dollars. To me, morals, integrity, doing what's right goes over money every single time in my life. I've never taken money over that. I would never throw that out the window just for money. So if that happened, that's the first thing I would try to do, is get evidence of that. So then when I do present it, there's really no refuting it. If I can't do that, let's just say there's just no way I can get evidence, it's just impossible, I would then just leave. Have nothing to do with the person. Get out of there, tell your story for what it is, and that's it, and hope that one day this person, gets their judgment. I don't know. I really don't know. There's really no way. A third option would be just killing the guy and saying, fuck you, you're an evil person, going to prison for the rest of my life. Because I could never in a million years see somebody do that to a minor and just like brush it off and because the person's paying me or whatever. So that's with these lawsuits. I'm saying all that to say this. These lawsuits to me just never made sense. It's like, now you're coming out and saying this. Where were you this whole time when you were with the person? You were getting paid, so you just kept your mouth shut and you just dealt with it. So that's why with these lawsuits, I'm kind of like, I'm iffy. I'm like, did they really do this? Is this a money grab? But continuing on from the article, according to All Hip Hop, the Terror Squad MC claimed that this alleged extortion attempt and smear campaign cost him $10 million in potential business deals. His new amended complaint, according to court documents, blasts the original lawsuit. The filing accused Joey Crack of a 5-year relationship with a 16-year-old during which he allegedly flew her out internationally and crossed state lines in the U.S. Furthermore, he claims Dixon and his legal team weaponized allegedly false accusations to destroy his reputation and squeeze money out of him. Allegedly, this manifested via lost deals, and he seeks $15 million in damages, plus injunctive relief and other moves to make up for these serious accusations. As for the opportunities allegedly tarnished by the Fat Joe lawsuit, this includes a major television network reportedly canceling their primetime slots for $30K due to current events. Also, the Joe and Jada podcast with fellow spitter Jadakiss reportedly lost 3 major sponsors, including a $675,000 ad deal. All in all, this allegedly cut the show's ad revenue by over 30%. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see moving forward. But yeah, if there's no evidence of this, there's nothing that the guy can prove, then it's just a money grab. It's hoping that Fat Joe just settles. Because they see, what's crazy? They've seen with Cassie Diddy settling. And now it's kind of opened this wave of let's accuse people and hope they just settle so their name doesn't get tarnished in the public. And me personally, never in a million years. Never. I'll never settle something I've never done. I don't give a fuck. Throw everything at me. Call me whatever you want to call me. I don't care if the public changes their view of me. If I know I didn't do something, I'm never settling. I'm not going to let settle shit. I'll fight till I have no penny left. Like, that's just how I feel about the situation. But everybody's different. I know some people don't want to deal with the bullshit that comes with it. And, all this stuff and your name getting dragged through the mud and people viewing you differently and, paying lawyers and going to court and dealing with all this shit. So hopefully I'm never in those shoes where somebody decides to sue me and accuse me of crazy shit. I don't ever want to deal with that type of stress, but yeah, you don't know what these situations, man. You can't really judge somebody settling when you don't know, being in that situation with that spotlight, a whole different situation. So yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. Continuing on, New Music Friday, of course, Drake dropped The Which One with Central C. Song is Dookie Cheeks, but whatever. NBA Youngboy dropped MASA, the album. Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist dropped Alfredo 2. Tyler, the Creator, dropped Don't Tap the Glass. Tyler dropped WPP, the EP. Pusha T and Wale, of course, dropped Damage Control. We talked about that earlier. Lil Wayne and Morgan Wallen and Rick Ross dropped Miami Remix. Don Toliver and Lithy dropped Cannonball. Offset dropped Professional. Chris Brown and Bryce Tiller dropped It Depends. Lupe Fiasco dropped SOS. Logic dropped Right to Be. Four Bats and Sexy Red dropped Where You At. The Kid Lil Roy dropped Hot Girl Problems. And Paul Wall and DJ Fresh dropped The Tonight Show album. You know what the Four Bats reminds me of? That Drake, Drake signed him or whatever. But whatever happened to Easy Mill? Eminem and Dr. Dre signed that guy, and I haven't heard shit from him, man. They're really working. They must be really working on his album like that. I'm just excited to hear him. He's really versatile of an artist, so can't wait to hear him on that. But continuing on, album sales. Tyler, the Creator, debuted at number 1 with Don't Tap the Glass, doing 205,000 first week. Round of applause to this guy. I'm not a fan of his music, but round of applause, man. I saw something on Twitter that said that if he drops an album in 2026 and goes number 1, he'll be the first artist to have 6 number 1 albums consecutively from 2020 to 2026. Because apparently he's dropped an album every year. Let me actually look that up. I'm genuinely curious. Tyler, the Creator. Has he dropped an album every year since 2020? Something like that. There's a tweet that says something like he'll be the first artist if he gets an album in 2026. Nah, yeah, he actually has. Let me see. No, he hasn't. Call Me If You Get Lost, 2021. Chroma Pokey, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. 2024, and Don't Tap the Glass, 2025. Did he drop EPs, or did he drop collab albums, or I don't know. Regardless, I saw something in the wrong lines that he'll break a record or something like that. So just congratulations to him. Round of applause. Morgan Wallen's at number 2 with I'm the Problem, 141,000 sold. K-Pop Demon Hunters, the soundtrack, is at number 3 with 89,000 sold. Justin Bieber Swag, number 4 with 72,000 sold. Alex Warren, You'll Be Alright Kid, number 5 debut with 68,000 sold. Travis Scott and Jack Boys 2, number 6 with 63,000 sold. BTS Permission to Dance on Stage Live at number 7 debut with 47,000 sold. Ozzy Osbourne, Essential Ozzy Osbourne. So they probably released the Greatest Hits album because he passed away. That debuted at number 8 with 44,000 sold. Clips, Let God Sort 'Em Out, number 9 with 43,000 sold. And Jesse Murph, Sex Hysteria, number 10 debut with 42,000 sold. Going down the list, SZA SOS, number 12 with 36,000 sold. Party Next Door and Drake, Some Sexy Songs for You, number 18 with 24,000 sold. Kendrick Lamar, GNX, number 22 with 22,000 sold. Jordan Lucas, ADHD 2, debuted at number 29 with 19,000 sold. Not bad. Drake, Take Care, number 39 with 17,000 sold. That's crazy. The album came out in 2011. The Weeknd, Hurry Up Tomorrow, number 47 with 15,000. Playboi Carti, Music, number 49 with 15,000 sold. Yep. And that's it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast. As always, appreciate you all for supporting, watching, all that, sharing, liking. You can stream us, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, all that. A new artist interview dropping this upcoming week. So support on Patreon, support on YouTube memberships. I really appreciate it as well on there. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.